everybody. Hello, Andrew.
Hi, Amanda. How are you doing?
I'm very good. Nice to see everyone. Hello, everybody. Welcome in the audience.
Thank you.
Robin, you're going to have to show everyone all those moves again and exactly how to do them, I think, eh?
I can details my address if you want to send chocolates first. I don't mind.
Huh?
Oh, look at you, bargaining tools. You wish. Okay, I'm just going to issue a few guest passes, Andrew, but I am here.
Cool, no problem.
Hey, Kalpana, you made it. That was quick. Well done. Fabulous.
And my mic's working.
Well
It's
done,
a good
Kalpana.
day. Well done, well done. Oh, look at Robin giving you all the news.
Guess what? The tech support is fabulous. They helped me out, and I took in 2 of my guests as well to get them sorted. So, yay.
It's amazing, eh? Kalpana, I found exactly the same thing when I joined. I had a few issues just joining, and I'm talking 3 months ago. I've never had support like the tech team gave me on that particular day. And I mean, the follow-ups, the checking, making sure you're okay, everything functional, live time while you're there. It's extremely impressive. Very, very impressive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very, very impressed.
Yeah, that's nice to hear. Thank you so much.
Robin, are you going to give us some dance classes? You're doing pretty well.
I think she must email them through to you because sometimes it's difficult to explain over the mic. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
But it's amazing how everyone's progressed as we've joined. You know, you think you come into an auditorium like this. We couldn't. When we first started, we couldn't even upload stuff onto the main screens, okay? Here you've got Robin uploading her presentation. Presentations are shown. You can adjust and alter all the stage settings. We can make the stage, the venue bigger. And then you've got various settings that you can do. You can make chairs disappear. It's all quite amazing, I must say, yeah. Quite incredible.
Wow.
Okay, we're just going to wait a few more moments and then we'll get into the discussions and so on. Just want to say thanks to Nyare. First time I've ever arrived in the welcome area and I was welcomed by somebody to say, welcome to eXp World, and that was Nyare. She gave me a bit of a fright just straight away, yeah. And we've had Zion Mayer up in the eXp South Africa world, just monitoring where the people are moving. And if anyone's lost, we just assist them in terms of getting into this venue. So nice added value there from the girls and very much appreciated. All good. I'm not sure if you've noticed how the color of the names change as you go along. So I see like Mark Lucas sitting in the audience. He's got an orange label like mine, which means we employees. Okay. The green labels mean you're a guest, that you're a guest in-house. I think, Stephen, your label is now red, which means you're an agent and you've gone through the onboarding process, obviously, to a point. So it's really interesting how they differentiate between everybody to make sure that you're recognized in a specific way. Quite amazing. Very clever. Eh?
Andrew, what colour's above my name?
You orange, Amanda. Yeah.
Thank you. Yay, I'm part of the team.
Just a tip, Andrew. Something I picked up from attending training in the world in the last couple of months, where a lot of the top agents are saying when you set up your name, just put your physical location or your city after your name, because they pick up a lot of referrals from other agents just by wandering around and meeting people in the world. So people know where you're from immediately. So that's what I've done. You'll see above my head, it's Steve Johnston, Cape Town. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, lovely point, Steve. That's nice to know. Yeah. Okay, I think we just sort of 1 minute away from getting going. Amanda, maybe if you can get Zayan Nyari into the room, I think they can come through now.
Fabulous. Give me
I
a
see
sec. Thank you.
Mark Lucas in the audience. We've got Amanda, Robin on stage, and Zayan is here. Hello, Zayan.
Hi, Andrew. Hello, team. How's everything?
Yeah, super. Lovely to see you. Our Cape Town girl. Eh?
Good, thank
Hey,
you.
Soya.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And there's Nyare. So we're good to go. Right. Okay, folks, a very warm welcome. If you don't mind just muting your mics in the audience, we're not going to mute you from the stage at this particular time. As you can see, there are three big screens in front of you. The center screen I'm going to control in terms of my presentation. Robin on the far side is going to do the onboarding steps a little bit later. But from our side, from the entire team, warm welcome to our second agent update. And we're so keen on updating you as to where we're at, how we're proceeding, where we're going from here, and also the up-and-coming week with eXpCon on, I think is extremely exciting for all of us because there's certain sessions there that you can't miss. And as we build up to our South African days on the Thursday and the Friday, looking forward to some nice interaction with some new agents coming into the venues, etc. So just really for today, from our side, we're going to talk through the onboarding steps with Rob and Nell. I'm going to give a broader intro of the team that's up on stage. I mean, I'm loving the interactions early on with Rian, with Stephen, with Mary, with Louise. The discussions starting to take place as we build our family and this bigger family and community here in South Africa. It is really wonderful, and I look forward to getting into the eXp world on a daily basis. And this is our team, and the team's only a team of 7 at this stage in terms of our employment team. And certainly, I repeat it again, this team's going to take us beyond 1,000 agents, and we're ready. We do have a few little challenges which we're working on, and we're going to talk you through those as to where we're at the present moment today. I'm going to give an update status as to everything that's taken place. And then talk through the model again. And I think, it's really wise to talk through this model on a daily basis. It really helps me in terms of exposure to the agents. And then I think also from your side, if you can take the interpretation of the presentation, take it to your own audiences, I think that's the bigger picture in terms of you really influencing people to come and participate in eXp South Africa, which is ultimately the goal, to ensure that you've got the tools, you've got the mechanisms, and you've got the way and the gift of the gab to ensure that we as a team here to support you and to grow eXp South Africa exponentially. We will have a confirmation email, which will come from Amanda Ray, sitting next to me here. And Amanda will give you an update on website links. She'll give you a marketing deck once again, Property Professional article, which came out on Wednesday in actual fact, which was done by Sean Minney. Thanks very much to Sean. It gave us great exposure in terms of what we're doing, how we're dealing with transformation and the likes here in South Africa, and a nice article to spread to the rest of our potential agents that want to join eXp South Africa. eXpCon registration link, we'll send that out again. It's worthwhile registering because you automatically receive what is going to be happening from Monday through to Friday next week. We'll also send you an invite to Spotlight on South Africa, which takes place on Thursday the 12th. And I'm planning to have some really nice fireside sort of chats with maybe 1 or 2 of the top brokers in America, just spreading some good word as to how to build your network and how to do sales, not only in the USA, but certainly focused on South Africa in particular. I also plan to do, or we plan to do, an invite to the Leadership, Vision and Mindset Workshop. And I'm so glad one of our panelists is in the room today. He's a training superstar here in South Africa, Stephen Johnson. Lance Klusner is going to be joining us on stage. I'm going to be hosting the panel, and I'm waiting for 2 or 3 other confirmations. But we're going to be talking about, really talking about training, talking about sport, education, real estate, and business in South Africa, and a wonderful topic leading into the leadership vision and mindset sort of episode. It's going to be a 45-minute session, but I think all of us would love to hear from Lance Klusner. He's officially started the onboarding process, and I'm super excited to have one of South Africa's top cricketers ever as part of our first pioneering team of agents coming into eXp South Africa. Just picture it shouting about those sort of things in terms of Lance Klusner joining the team. And we are going to do a bit of PR. We're going to do a bit of media around that. And I'm expecting 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 additional South African cricketers and potentially some Indian cricketers to join us with an eye of growth into India, with those 1.4 billion people living there and 1 million agents to see how we can work on our own revenue shares as such. And if I can assist or advise you in any way as to how to go about your revenue share, how to grow your network, I think I've had some great experience over the last 3 months and interacting with some of the top brokers here in South Africa, just in terms of how we genuinely convey the message, how we convert it into financial analysis, and how we genuinely attract the bigger brokerages to potentially join us in the future. And we're talking in some cases up to 2,000 plus agents in terms of those discussions. So there's some really big discussions that have taken place. But also the day-to-day discussions with the individual agent and the smaller brokerages of, the 20, 25, up to sort of 70, 100 agents. We're working on those as well at the present moment. Please do remember the independent contract is with a natural person at this particular stage, and certainly instigated through a discussion which I had with Stephen Johnston and some of his colleagues down in Port Elizabeth. We won't mention who, but certainly it's instigated the need for us to address the approach to teams and brokerages in the form of companies coming across into eXp. And we're working through that at the present moment. I know a big brainstorm took place yesterday amongst the leadership of eXp World Holdings and eXp Realty. And I'm hoping that we're going to get a result from that to ensure there's an adjustment in our independent contract agreement, there's an adjustment in our marketing deck, and there's an adjustment in terms of how we deal with the technology, which has to take into account various levels and splits in terms of the management of those teams and companies. Do believe it is doable. It is a requirement, and it is being used in the USA. It's how we now adopt it into our technology locally here in South Africa. And also a big thank you. I see there's some movement on the commercial side, and certainly if there's interest in that regard, got the ability to interact with some real specialists here within eXp, and I'm looking forward to, I hope in the next few weeks, a session or 2 with James Wang, and that instigated by members of the audience that are in here today. So thank you very much indeed, and thanks for that. So just from my side, into the onboarding steps, once again, this team that is pioneering here in the audience have been very helpful with your feedback on a day-to-day basis. Where there have been glitzes, where there have been issues, our team, Robin, Juliet, everyone's got involved. The tech team respond extremely quickly, and we get results. We fix it quickly and we move on to the next matter, and it quickly becomes automated in terms of the process going forward. Before I do hand over to Robin, and she's certainly excited about doing this session today, we are moving very close to that 100 mark, as promised last week. And the minute we tip over the 100 mark, we're gearing for 1,000 agents. And that's where we want to be, as quickly as possible. And I see that happening by January, February, maybe latest March, and just growing rapidly towards the 2,000 barrier or 2,000 measurement in 2021. Okay, so with that in mind, over to you, Robin.
Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Robin. Before I go on and tell you the 4 basic steps of onboarding, so that you understand exactly where you are at in the process, look at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Okay, that is a small chat box. So if you have any questions and you don't want to wait until the end of the session, in case you forget, Please feel free to type your questions in there, and then we'll have some Q&A afterwards. Okay, I'm going to start from the beginning so you can share the info with your colleagues or anyone else that might want to introduce to eXp. Okay, so the first step is go to expsouthafrica.coza, then click on join our team, and then click on become an agent, where you will be asked to complete your basic information,
I'm busy listening
like
to
your
the
name,
thing
your surname, your contact details, email address,
Are you on the
etc.
campus? I can't really understand your message. You
Once
say,
you've
am
done
on
that,
campus.
your application will
Did
then
you get
go
a guest
through
pass? Did you
to
download
the
the
onboarding
World app
specialist,
and then open it?
where
And
they
put your
will review your
temporary
info
password
just to
in,
make
and
sure you have
if you're
completed all
standing
the
in the
basics.
waiting area, if you
And
created your
then
little
once
avatar,
this
then
has
I can
been
help you
done,
get here. But
you will receive the contract via email.
yeah, just let me know what's happening.
It is a rather large document, and unfortunately, you cannot download it or print it. You have to read it online, and you have to sign it online. Sorry. At this point, many people have a lot of questions, so you're welcome to call any one of us. Anything we can't answer, we will ask Andrew. Once you have signed the contract online, it will then be sent straight to Andrew, who will review it and he will sign it. You will then receive an email with an invoice to pay your membership fee. Your membership fee is 800, and then the first month 800, so you've got to pay 1,600. Once this has been paid, you will then be issued a letter of engagement that you'll need to upload to the EAAB portal. They will issue you with an invoice with the amount to pay for the company name change. Once you have done this, you will need to send us the proof of payment that you made to the EAAB. Once this has been done, you will receive an email with your details for eXp, being your email address. You will then be fully onboarded, and thereafter, you will receive your fully signed contract. This email address and password is your gateway to everything in the world. So you'll have access to hours and hours and hours of training. But it doesn't stop there. Okay, so all of us here today on stage and in the audience, we will all be here to help you. We will be giving weekly training sessions as well on the onboarding process, on where, how to do your listings, the transaction process. So you can come to as many training sessions as you need or you want. We'll all be here for you. I mean, just a phone call away. That's it from me. Over to you, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks very much. And see a few questions popping up in the chat box, and Amanda will make note of those, or we can keep them through until the end of the session and talk that through specifically. So I think just for the purposes of now, if I can maybe just ask Mark Luca to pop up on stage. Mark, if you can come through, would be great. You're available. Okay, so what I'm going to do very quickly now is just talk through the South African model. Going to have a brief chat with Mark and the rest of the team, and just do a very quick introduction as to who the team is out of the top seven that are sitting here in front of you. So just from a South African team perspective, obviously broker of record for South Africa, overseeing the principal status for the whole of South Africa, and with the plan of growing to those 3,000 plus agents in eXp South Africa, we've got a massive opportunity in terms of growth in this particular team. And such a great pleasure to have Mark Luca as part of the team. Mark's our regional financial manager for Africa, Middle East and Asia, and or Europe, Middle East and Asia. Mark, great to have you part of the team.
It's great to be here, Andrew, and it's nice joining these chats. I know I'm part of the business and I should know it very well, but it's always good joining these because there's always something new that we learn in these presentations and meetings, and good for us and for everyone else just to be part of these things. And thanks for the introduction. Yes, like Andrew said, I'm the regional finance manager for Europe, Middle East, and Asia. So I'm working on South Africa. Once we get South Africa rolling, we're moving on to Portugal and France, helping out with India as well. So yeah, there's a lot on our plate, but just know that we're not neglecting South Africa. It's very much our firstborn child, and we're giving it all our attention.
Mark, and where are you from in South Africa?
I'm from Potchefstroom, born and bred.
Up there with the chicken farmers, I think. Isn't that chicken farming country?
Chicken and millie farmers, yeah.
Chicken and millie farmers,
Yeah.
And good rugby players from that area, I think, as well.
Yes. Well, not that we would know. We haven't watched the game in 8 to 9 months.
Mark, and your experience and your arrival into eXp, can you just elaborate on that? Just your feelings. What's your feeling about eXp Realty, eXp World Holdings, and obviously eXp South Africa?
Yeah, so before I joined eXp, I spent 9 years in the UK, and then I moved back to South Africa. The company that I worked for, unfortunately, had to go into liquidation because of lockdown. So I was in a fortunate position that I could join eXp on very short notice. And it's been fantastic. When I interviewed, this is the first company that I interviewed where people actually asked you what you could bring to the specific business, not just general questions like, what have you done, and tell us about your CV. They actually asked us, what do you think you could bring to this role, and what would you do? Which is fantastic, because I like to think I've gained some good experience. And a lot of old companies, they're very set in their ways, and they don't like change, whereas this company is all about change. And we can bring in new ideas that actually get listened to. We actually have a forum to speak to senior people. I mean, we speak to Michael Valdez, we speak to Alison Clark. These guys are quite big shots in the company, but we have a direct line to them on Workplace. We can message them, Megan Kelly, all of these people. And in a different entity, we might never have those opportunities. I mean, we raised concerns like last week with the ICA that Steve brought to us. We addressed it within 24 hours. This is not something that another company would be able to do on such a quick turnaround time, and just that focus on what our business is. Our business is making sure we deliver an excellent product to the agents, where maybe down the line or elsewhere we would have been focused on the bottom line. That's not our focus. Our focus is on getting a solid business, sustainable, that's going to deliver results, and frankly, make a lot of money for people.
Absolutely, Mark. I've had the most pleasant welcome into eXp Realty, thoroughly enjoying the experience. Super glad to have you on board. Just out of interest, just from a family point of view, hobbies, that kind of thing, talk us through.
Yeah, I'm not married yet, but I'm working on it.
Not yet? Are you working on it?
Not yet. Okay. I'm working on it. I'm getting pushed, but it'll happen. We'll have something to celebrate when we can celebrate. No kids yet, but we have a bunch of dogs and cats, so that's our kids for now. And I really enjoy that. One big thing of moving back to South Africa, we have that freedom. You know, the UK, it's a mud island. You can't really do anything, but yeah, South Africa, we have the freedom.
Mark, thanks so much, and certainly fantastic to have a guy with your experience as part of the team. You're really solid in terms of assisting us and maintaining our team and keeping us upbeat, and looking at every opportunity to make it grow for everyone around you. So thank you very much indeed, and we'll have a further chat a little bit later. So thanks to Amanda Ray. Yeah, thanks, Mark. Thank you. Amanda Ray. Amanda, just a quick chat with you. I've had the great pleasure of working with you over the last 9 years through the Eland Property Group, and wonderful lady, personal assistant, administrative coordinator, very efficient young lady, and great to have you on board. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Amanda.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Andrew. Born and bred in Durban. I've been here my whole life, an avid Western Province supporter, to all the Sharks and to Andrew. Very much a Stormers fan. Very outdoors person, love cycling. It's taken me around the world. It's shown me different places and made me some wonderful friends. And yes, thank you to everyone for allowing me the opportunity to be part of this. And it's a wonderful forum, and it's lovely to have people sitting in the auditorium joining us today.
Yeah, Amanda, I know we've worked on various systems and that here locally in South Africa, but you've adapted to this new technology, this new world. And I know initially you might have been apprehensive, but just what a delight to see you in eXp South Africa world, how you've adopted the technology. How's it going in that regard?
Andrew, it's been a whirlwind trip. It was a bit overwhelming. I was a bit daunted, I won't lie. But technology, phenomenal. The assistance, the backup, just everyone that's been able to assist me with questions when I was completely overwhelmed. It's been an awesome experience, and to think that we didn't actually do this earlier is phenomenal. If we had this during COVID, I think it would have been, we'd be a long way down the road. And there's a lot of people that need to catch up to what we're doing. It's phenomenal.
Fantastic, Amanda. I mean, you speak so well up on stage. Maybe in the future you'll be doing these presentations. So well done on that. And thanks for your feedback. We're delighted to have you as part of the team. Very well done.
Thank you, Andrew.
Great pleasure. And just while we're on that, Juliet Zuniga, she's not here today. She's Canadian-based. She works in Montreal. And she's a wonderful lady. She's really assisted us in terms of training us around eXp. She's a quick fixer in terms of any form of technology issues. She's helped us get these presentations up, etc., and made us feel very welcome into eXp Realty community as such. And supporting her and a delightful young lady here from the Mshlanga area, Robin Nell. Robin, how are you doing?
That's it, Andrew. Thanks. Sorry, I had to try and find my mouse again. I keep using the thing on the screen.
I think too much dancing, but you're adding massive value to our team. You really, every time we talk to you, we're extremely motivated. Tell us a little bit about your history, Robin.
Well, I've been in property since 2003, so it's my passion. I got to learn about eXp in March this year. So I've been following eXp, waiting for it to come out here in South Africa. So you must know I'm really excited to be working with so many more agents every day. It's like my dream. Yeah, I'm not normal, I don't think sometimes.
It's quite amazing. Robin, when I first met her in her first interview, she said, Andrew, I've got to get this job. I'll do anything to get this job. I want to be part of eXp and I want to come support the agents in this community. And Robin, just so wonderful to have you on board. And again, on your presentation, you're doing extremely well. Well done.
Better. It must be the whiskey.
All right, just very quickly, thanks for that, Robin. Over to Nyare Mabayo. Nyare, you're all the way from Zimbabwe. You've been working in South Africa for a number of years. I love the Zimbabwean people and so pleased to have you as part of our eXp South Africa team. How are things going?
Thanks, Andrew. Things are going well. Thank you.
Right, you are a transactional specialist, and I know we're waiting for the transactional app to complete. But tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your history, and your sort of maybe your property experience.
Right. So hello everyone. So yes, I was born and bred in Zimbabwe. I came to South Africa 15 years ago. So I first was in South Africa in Joburg. I attended Wits University. And a few years after that, I relocated to Western Cape, particularly because my family was here. And I am based in Cape Town at the moment. Actually, I have been based in Cape Town the whole time. So I've been in the property industry for 7 years, going on to 8 in Feb. And I must say, it's been an incredible journey for me. I am particularly excited to be part of this eXp team. I mean, it's been amazing. I've had the experience with the team, with the systems, with the company as a whole has been phenomenal. I can't even begin to explain. It's been really great, and I am excited for the future, and I am excited for this role that I'm taking up as a transaction specialist.
about it later, though.
Yeah, Nyari, I was saying earlier, you're welcome today into the welcome area. So fantastic, and always nice to hear from you and chat to you. We'll dig down deep into some of the other things in the next little while as we get to know the rest of the team. But Zayan Meyer, you're also from Cape Town, and you've had some tremendous, I think, banking experience, bonding experience. Talk to us about you.
Hi, good afternoon, Andrew, and nice having everybody here today. Yes, so I come with 13 years banking experience. I started off I was very young. I was 20 years old. I started off with Nedbank. And I was there for a total of 13 years. I was doing first sales consultant, where I dealt with bonds and home loans, personal loans, vehicle finance, dealing with bond originators, all of those type of things. I then got promoted to a sales manager. Yes, and obviously I had a lot of experience within property because we used to deal with the estate agents. Also, you know what, going very detail, and this might be a little bit off topic, but yes, in terms of dealing with estate agents, we were able to provide advice as to like how do you actually nurture your clients, how do you retain your clients, how do you build up credit records, what do we look at from a financial perspective in terms of bonds, right onto the time of lodgement. So yes, I do have quite a broad knowledge on that. I am very excited to be part of this team. Wow, it's been so welcoming. The leadership team is so exceptionally good. Yes, I'm very excited to be, well, but a little bit about myself. I'm 33 years old, and I don't know if I can say that I'm newlywed. 1 year? Okay. I think that's
You're
okay.
You're allowed to,
yeah.
yes.
So yes, I am kind of...
Mark's not allowed to, Zayn, but you are.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, no kids as yet. My favorite thing to do is Pilates, hiking. I love views. I love scenic things. And yes, I'm so excited to be part of the team. I'm so excited to help everybody out. So you know what? If you need me, you can just call on me and I'll be right there. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Zayn, and that's a nice summary of what we do and what we're about. So if you just go through the actual team itself, I mean, Amanda from an administrative point of view, you got Robin and Juliet from an onboarding point of view to get the agents onboarded through to the Access Agent Hub, get the agent comfortable in terms of you having the ability to do the work and the sales that you want to do. And then into the transactional process and the transactional app. And through that, the queries will come back to Zayan and to Nyare. And backed by that is Mark Luca on the financial side, the legal side. And we as a team here, we are here to support you. So what we're trying to do is obviously give the team confidence up on the stage. You'll see we've had a lead-in of 1 or 2 people doing presentations. The team now getting confident in terms of speaking in front of audiences. And these future presentations are effectively going to be done by this team and not necessarily always by myself. So thanks once again to the team. Just want to chat just very quickly as to where we're at the present moment before a Q&A session. And for those that do want to stay on, I will talk into the model of eXp South Africa. So just from an agent count point of view, we are moving towards that 100 mark. We've got genuine goals to grow over the 1,000 mark. And by the end of the next year, our budgeted figure sits at 2,350 agents. So that's a realistic view. I've got some own personal goals that I want to achieve. And certainly we want to be in the top 3 in South Africa in terms of brokerage size as quickly as possible. And it's not going to be done by us on stage. It's effectively the shareholders and the agents and the building of the team and the training, the communication and everything that pulls together that is going to build this engine and get this momentum going into a very exciting time that lies ahead for the next 3-4 months. The next 3-4 months certainly holds some challenges as we building this technology, but I really believe we're adopting it, we're endorsing it, and the people that take on the challenge and look for solutions are going to be the winners and the really beneficial agents working into the future. Just in terms of decisions that we've made recently, we've decided to open up the eXp email addresses to individuals that have paid their join fee. and also committed to their first monthly fee. So welcome into the room today again, Stephen Johnston. A very warm welcome to Sue Fenter. We've got Mark Holder, who has also come through the join process. And I think Rian van Sale, whilst he's in the venue today, there's a bit of work to be done, but he'll also be joining in terms of having the ability to test listings, to test systems, and to make sure that we're on track in terms of the technology that we've got on offer. Last week in our session, I did mention that my principal status for Fidelity Fund Certificate had been issued, which it had, but we've had a little bit of a blockage in terms of some history in terms of our firm. And that has been delayed, and I'm hoping to get a result on that during this next week. And with that in mind, and I just really want to put it up front, is we've made a decision that the 800 join fee will remain for everybody. We're going to credit anyone that has paid their 800 Rand monthly fee, but credit it so that anyone that has joined during November has the ability to allocate that 800 Rand to December month. And Mark Luca will be dealing with those credits through the onboarding team, through Robin and Juliet, and conveying the message back to the individuals that had paid their monthly fee of 800 Rand. What we do want to do in the interim is we want to bring the agents in. So everybody that's onboarded to a point, Robin and Juliet are pushing to have them converted to their join fee, to pay their first monthly fee for December, so that you can get your listings up in the system in the interim and test the technology and get into the website, get into the listings platform. And we're testing at the moment that private property and P24 are actually connecting into our system. So we're not 100% sure whether it's functional at the moment, but had some delightful news yesterday in our session when we were talking through the South African model from Mark Holder, who just said how simple and straightforward the listing platform was. I think he did a listing in 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes, and the traditional models that I've worked with have taken up to 45 minutes to do a listing, which is far too long and far too unproductive. So I hope the fee structure makes sense, and if you want to have any queries in that regard, chat to Robin, chat to Juliet, the team here can assist, and Mark Luca will do the necessary paperwork to ensure the credits are done for November. We do not want to overlap the Fidelity Fund Certificate issue over to December. It will be resolved now in November, and indications are that it'll be resolved this next week. I've got people outside the EAAB, inside the EAAB. We're working with specialized consultants, and I'm also working with a top legal team in South Africa to ensure our process is smooth and uninterrupted going forward. Just in terms of Join app, just in terms of specific updates, I'm just going to run through these very quickly. The Join app was launched and is operational. Our agent hub is prepped and tested and in the process of being tested. So again, I just want to be very thankful to Stephen Johnston. Your feedback on the agent hub is critical to our technology and has been so helpful in remedying some little gremlins that are sitting there in the technology. We feed back to our development team, they fix it straight away, and we move on to the next one as soon as we have satisfied the feedback and solution. I think what is also important is, for instance, I know Mark Holder is having some issues with listings and whether it's feeding through to private property and P24. He's documented that through to us. We take action on it, and it's immediate action. It goes through to the right departments, to the right developers, to the right technology, to the right company, and we fix the issues so that in the future there are automated systems that are working and in place. And to a certain extent, I'm quite happy that there's been this slight delay in the Fidelity Fund Certificate because it's bought us a little bit more time to ensure that the automation of the technology, our systems are operational, our payment gateways are working, and that we can pay you at the end of the day when your commissions do come through. Our website is active and awaiting agents and listings. Our CRM is active. Our listings testing linked to private property and P24 supposedly went live yesterday, but again, it's under testing, as I've mentioned already. Our merchant website has come out and will be a link into our main website where you as an agent have the ability to go through to that website choose the merchandising, the branding items, the for sale boards, on-show boards, motorcar magnets branded with eXp Global South Africa, t-shirts, caps, peaks, buffs, whatever it might be, and it's priced. You can get a shopping trolley on the net. You can go purchase off your credit card, or alternatively, you can phone in, you can email in, and you can procure that merchandising. I believe it'll be a 2 to 3 day delivery, okay, from literally today, but the website has to go live. It hasn't been branded approved, and it's sitting with our marketing department at the moment. So I'm extremely excited about that because we fast-tracked that a little bit. It's come forward. I was only expecting it to be live around about the 15th of November. I spoke to Kevin Butho from 360 yesterday, and straight away he delivered the link to the website. We've had a look at it and very excited about the offering there. Payment gateway, as I said, is active. Our transaction app is coming to a close. I was very nervous that it was going to be delayed into the later part of November. That has come forward as well. And what's critical with that is it now brings in Nyare and Zayan in terms of being the transactional specialists. And I think our final training on that will take place this next week. And agents will then be able to transact and ensure their offer to purchases are uploaded, and the ability then to go forward in terms of completing a transaction with a seller, with a buyer, and doing the necessary. Our training has commenced, and it's been very well received. Our audiences are growing, even though small today. We've got to really work chat and workplace and our own WhatsApp and our own social media to ensure growth in these types of sessions. So a good example today, I know there are 1 or 2 agents in the room that has brought in 2, 3, 4 additional agents just for reviewing, just for an understanding of the model. And I think that is important. So if you're reaching out on every session, and the same applies to Mark, Amanda, to Zayan, to Nyari, Robin, we should be bringing in 2, 3 people at a time, issuing the guest passes for those individuals, letting them come into the world, have the experience, and then get onto the Zoom calls, the Google Meets calls, the one-on-one calls thereafter, or onto the webinars and the training sessions that you might offer in your own right to grow your own revenue share. We've done a webinar, completed the marketing deck. We've had a few press releases, and as I mentioned earlier, Property Professional, a really nice summary yesterday as to the expectation of eXp in South Africa. The ICA has been adjusted, and that's thanks to our agents who pointed out a number of issues, and those have been corrected. The Policies and Procedures Manual is now complete. And then just into a bit of marketing, 12th of November next week, we got Spotlight on South Africa taking place on the 12th of November, which I think is Thursday next week. We're doing it in this venue, so please be aware of that. The 13th of November next week, Leadership, Vision and Mindset. We'll be talking training, sport, education, real estate and community. And once again, I repeat, Stephen Johnston will be on stage, Lance Klusner. I'm hoping for some superstar agents from the USA and 1 or 2 other celebrities out of South Africa. It should be a great session. It's only 45 minutes, but let's get people into the audience to come see the likes of Steve and Lance and everyone paneling it out on stage as such. Our marketing launch, we are looking at companies in South Africa to do a proper launch into South Africa. I think from the 9th, 12th of October, we've had a very soft launch. There hasn't been much on social media. There hasn't been much going out in terms of eXp South Africa. But if we appoint the right marketing company here locally in South Africa, we've effectively got an extended arm of the marketing support out of eXp World Holdings, eXp Realty, and what's offered to us from those entities back into South Africa. But we need a South African culture to really drive the marketing and the proposed marketing here locally. We are going to get into webinars on a monthly basis. We're going to really promote, and I also put it to the audience, you should be doing your own video content in terms of the way you market, the way you promote, and to ensure that short, sharp 2-3 minute videos are available to your audience to instigate revenue share and your network growth amongst you and your potential colleagues. Mandates offered to purchase rental agreement as tools to the agents will be available. It's still sitting on my desk in terms of being vetted, but we do have those agreements in hand. eXp South Africa World has been built, and I mean, what a great venue to host people. Where else in the world can you have 3 screens with 3 different presentations with an audience interaction of this sort of nature, with a chat box on the one side, with various controls in the room? It is just not done by anybody else. So extremely unique. Bring the people in. Let's enhance the experience. And I think we're just going to get better and better at this on a day-to-day basis in terms of opportunity. Next week, I do repeat, and I can't say it enough, eXpCon from Monday through to Friday next week, 9th to the 13th of November. If you haven't registered already, register this afternoon when you receive the email from Amanda. Go into the diary, have a look at the calendar, make sure you know what's going on, attend the events that you want, and target the presenters that you want to listen to. Guys to look out for, Glenn Sanford, definitely, without a doubt. Jason Gessing, without a doubt. Keep an eye open for him. Watch out for Michael Valdez in terms of his presentation on the global growth. Just remember, he's had massive experience with Sotheby's, with Century 21, these companies around the world where he's been a world leader, and you can feel his inspiration when he comes into a room. He's got a tremendous presence about him, and certainly I'm learning from him on a day-to-day basis and excited about the future and the global growth around the world, extending out of South Africa in particular. For this next week with eXpCon on, we're not going to have any formal training as such. So hence today, just getting into a little bit more information, trying to give you sufficient information to walk away with and to make sure that you are aware of some of the little speed bumps that there are, that some of the little challenges that there are. But we want to work with you and we want to support you in terms of your day-to-day operations. Do want to repeat, don't go resign from your companies as of yet. And we've always said since day dot that let's get our Fidelity Fund certificate in place first. Let's issue you with your letter of appointment next. Once you've got that letter of appointment in hand, that is the point of time that you go resign from your other company. Okay, so I think it's very important, and we want to convey that message consistently and correctly. We're not here to hide anything or leave anything out. We're consistent in terms of our messages. My team up on stage is briefed in that regard, and we can respond to any queries in that regard. Do apologize for the delay in terms of our Fidelity Fund certificate, but I do believe we've got it in control. And if we can meet in the next week and get to that point of making sure that we go ahead on a full-blown approach to how we're going to market, operate real estate as eXp South Africa, I think we're on a great wicket. Okay. Right, so from my side, I see there's the chat box is being quite busy. I'm sure Amanda might be able to highlight 1 or 2 of those items. And as always, if I can't answer them professionally, I will relay it through to our senior counsel. I'll relay it through to Mark Luca and get the appropriate answer where I can't answer specific questions or any of my team can. So thank you once again. Great to have you as part of the audience. Great to have you as part of our agent team. And looking forward to a great future. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you, Andrew. Jim Tate would like to know, in the real estate game, there are a number of husband and wife teams that work together, and they are one of those teams. And what would the requirement be for a husband and wife team to join eXp?
Yeah, ideally we'd love both to be able to join. Some husband and wives nominate one individual to do the necessary sale and the sizzle, and that would be the individual that joins our network. But preferably if you're going out and you're signing offers to purchase and mandates and doing rentals, etc., and you're not just purely a spouse sitting on the side doing administration at home, I'd certainly suggest both team members join, because it gives you flexibility to your eXp email account. It gives you flexibility into the world, and obviously it's probably a legal requirement to ensure that you can operate under a license, your Fidelity Fund certificate here locally in South Africa, and that you can attend all training, functions, parties, whatever it might be, under the eXp banner. So for an additional 800 Rand a month, I'd highly recommend that both individuals join.
And can I just say something there? From an income tax perspective, or more tax management strategy, it sort of makes more sense to have income pot split over two people. Therefore, otherwise one person will pay way more, where you can offset it better over two people. So that's just something to consider.
Then thanks for that, Mark. Any other questions?
Hi, Andrew. Sorry. Okay, so there is a question from Rachel. Thank you for that, Rachel. She'd like to know, there are agents who have asked, are they able to view documents for mandates, offers to purchase, etc. in advance? Is that available?
Yeah, so like I said in the brief update, the mandates, offer to purchase and rental agreement on a procurement basis is in draft form from ENS Africa, that have taken standard agreements and drafted them as tools for the agents to use. So those tools will be available to the agents. They'll be able to access those and utilize them as their standard agreements with the individual seller and buyer as such, or renter. They just haven't been vetted, so we haven't distributed them.
Sorry, Andrew, Rachel here. I just wanted to check, will we be required to use those, or would we be able to continue using our?
No, Rachel, definitely you can utilize your own agreements. We happy you using your own agreements, providing they satisfy the Estate Agency Affairs Board and they satisfy your seller-buyer relationships, renter relationships, and also the conveyances. And if it satisfies all of those, we've got no issue with you utilizing your own agreement.
Awesome. And sorry, while we're on transactions, how do you envision, how involved will the national team be involved in individual transactions from an admin perspective?
All the information is held in the offer to purchase. So effectively, you translate the information on the offer to purchase into the technology system. It's basically literally automated from there. You're still going to have to manualize it, because in South Africa, we have to have electronic signatures. We can't use electronic signatures. You've got to have original signatures. And effectively, you're taking that sale agreement to the conveyancer. We just need to admin control it through the process. So we want to know, is it pending? At what point is it? Is it transferable? Is it lodged? Is it registered? And when it comes out of the deeds office as registered, that the conveyancer transfers the funds into eXp's standard bank account. And from there, the splits are done to the individual agent, the referring agent, and the company. And just to add to that, paid within 48 hours, and we're working on an automated system. So going back, sorry, Rachel, your question, how much interaction with the admin team? Really, you, the agent, you're going to drive the whole process. The technology is going to support you.
We have a number of agents that we're looking at bringing across, and a lot of them rely on our admin team quite significantly. So I imagine I'd just retain my current admin person to support those agents.
Yeah, Rachel, I'd certainly recommend that. And what you might want to do with your admin person is bring her or him in as an agent. It helps with your networking. They could become great recruiters. It helps you build your own network. And it also gives that admin person additional responsibility in terms of their own growth and their improvement in wealth and their own lifestyle.
I like that very much. Sorry to hog the floor, but one more question around revenue share. Do you have to have active sales to benefit from the revenue share?
I think Steve Johnson can answer that one. Steve.
No, the answer is no. You don't have to. You don't have to be selling homes yourself. You don't have to be a qualifying agent to your sponsor, as long as you've got the number of qualifying agents below you to unlock the various tiers.
Done it. So pretty much you can purely be a recruiter.
Yeah, because there's a lot of brokers around the world who are members of eXp who themselves haven't sold a house for 25 years. They've just got big teams below them, and that's eXp have always made provision for that, so there's no problem.
Rachel, just to add to that, Steve, thanks very much for that. That's spot on. And I speak often about Brent Gove. Brent Gove joined eXp 4 years ago. He had 3 agents in his network. He did come across from Keller Williams and from Remax. And through that process, Brent grew from 3 agents to 100 agents after his first year, 1,000 agents after year 2. End of year 3, which was 3 months ago, he was at 11,000 agents. He's now sitting at 14,000 agents, okay, in his network. And correctly stated by Stephen, he probably hasn't done a property sale himself in the last number of years. So you look at that and estimate what he's earning. I would estimate he's earning in excess of $450,000 a month. All right, any more questions?
Andrew, I do have a question which I've got a few times and I actually haven't been able to answer it. How can agents share their listings with each other? Is there a kind of internal multi-listing capability, or does each eXp agent only have their own listings they can work on? So how does that work within eXp?
Steve, the way I understand it is that each agent will hold their own individual listing. Okay, so the minute in South Africa you got an earth under one company, let's say a home under one company, all right, it doesn't populate out to private property and P24. So you've got limitations in that regard. So the minute an eXp agent has access to one specific property, the listing to me will sit with that agent. But you can internalize the communication and push it out to eXp agents through your CRM system in terms of offering that listing to those individuals, okay, to go market and promote, etc. But they won't be able to do it through private property and P24.
We've also set the back end, so echo.
Yeah, Steve, if
Yeah, so we've set the back end so that as a referral, the transaction fee, let's say if there's a commission share or something, it does it in the background. It's not you as the agent who's has agreement with someone else. You get the full commission payout, and then you have to pay the portion over. We do that split in-house at point of transaction.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Stephen, also I think as we go along, we're going to rely on the agents to help us make those decisions. So, especially when you haven't worked with the system, it's difficult to make a call or a decision. Let's get the system going, let's test it, and then we're going to rely on agent feedback.
Yeah, for sure, Andrew. And as I said in the chat box earlier, I just think this is the most exciting journey we're all on. We're all in it together. And one of the things I'm telling people is one of the trade-offs for being in on a world-class opportunity like this at the beginning is that there are going to be things that we all just need to learn together. And so that's good as long as we can keep asking each other the questions and keep being graceful with each other as we keep going. We're busy building something incredible here, which I think in a year's time we're going to look back and be amazed by what we've done. So that's all good.
Fantastic, and I loved your recommendation earlier about putting your place of residence under your name. I think that's absolutely appropriate. You're going to see how many people approach you during eXpCon as to, hey, you're from South Africa, fantastic, tell us about this, that, can I invest there, etc., etc. So good one there, Steve. Right, any more questions, guys? And my question to the...
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Can an intern recruit agents? Will they also be able to earn revenue share, or do they have to be a full status agent?
See, the model's been built on the basis that the intern always has to have a qualified agent in their upline. So the way I look at it, as opposed to seeing it as an issue or a problem, you almost want a qualified agent to have below that individual on their first tier an intern agent, okay? And somehow there's got to be a structure. It's actually a very good question, Robin. It's got to be thought out in terms of how you bring in a qualified agent into that next tier to oversee an intern below that individual. So I think it's going to stagger out where it's a qualified agent, an intern. The intern can network with a qualified agent to buffer another intern, if that makes sense.
So they can also have an opportunity of earning revenue share. So if I have 5 agents who are all qualified on my first level, and one of those agents brings on an intern, can that intern also recruit and earn revenue share?
Absolutely, there's no problem with that whatsoever. The only item that I would say is not permissible in that sort of structure is where an intern takes on an intern.
Thanks, Andrew. That's great feedback.
Okay. Right, guys.
Just one more, Andrew, quickly. There's a good question from Janice. So
Yes.
Janice says, so if you bring on a person that is not an agent, like an admin person, will they then need a FFC certificate, even though they are not selling, but they can recruit? And I could probably answer that. They would need a certificate, FFC certificate. That's part of the ICA, that everyone has a FFC certificate.
That's it. Okay, any more questions? And alternatively, I can talk through the model very quickly, and I will go through it as fast as possible. For those that would like to have a look at the model, very happy to go through. Would you like me to do that?
Andrew, just one last thing to the floor. Not everyone, I think, is reading the chat group. So Charmaine put out a question, do we need to use a specific bond originator or conveyancer? And Steve Johnson very kindly responded saying, hi Charmaine, you can use your own bond originator and conveyancers. So for the floor that didn't manage to see the chat box, there's the feedback that you needed to that question.
100%. And to add to that, I'm hoping through our CRM that we'll be able to capture the vendor network, so conveyancers, bond originators. So there are contact points that you can go to, but you're not forced to use any of those individuals. You can go directly to your localized conveyancer. You can go to any bond originator, Uber, Multinet. We're going to have these guys coming in and doing presentations in terms of training, interacting with you. And just remember, any third-party income outside of commission and rental income, commission, all third-party income is for your own personal account. So on bond originators, the third-party income goes to you 100%. On conveyancers that offer fees, on relocation specialists that offer commissions, that's for your own income. eXp does not participate in that form of income. Then just to add to that, we're also paying the full commission, and I think this is a massive advantage in South Africa. We have taken legal advice on it, so we're paying the full commission, and you take care of your own income tax. Mark Luca, I got that one right, yeah?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so if you're happy, I'll talk us into the model. And again, I would propose in future sessions, I'd love to have some of the agents presenting the model up on stage and talking us through, because we're going to get a variety of information, but as long as the message is accurate all the way through, we're comfortable with that. So if there's anyone that does want to excuse themselves that have been through this model on numerous occasions, you're welcome to. Alternatively, I think I'm going to be another 10, maybe 15 minutes just talking through the South African model. All good. So feel free. All right, so here we go, South African model. So what we've got from a South African model point of view, since you've met the whole team, the whole structure around eXp is that the model is really based on moving away from the traditional brokerage that offers a 50-50 split, a 60-40 split, even a 70-30 split. And certainly the bigger brokerages are moving to a higher split on a day-to-day basis. We take out all the infrastructure, the building, the rentals, the admin team, the accounts, the marketing costs, etc. And for 800 Rand a month, you can join eXp Realty as a plug-and-play technology platform, call it a business platform, to allow you, the agent, to become more productive in your day-to-day. First time in my life, I'm working from home. I've got the ability to have now 3 or 4 or 5 extra hours a day, which I've never, ever had before. And I think it just gives us more time as agents to get out there and go do exactly what we're meant to be doing, and that is direct sales, building relationships, building networks, identifying new agents to come join eXp South Africa, and also exploiting the world opportunities as we grow into India, Mexico, Portugal, France, 15 new countries during next year. Just picture the revenue structure that can be created by you, for you, in terms of your own individual networks. I just think of the likes of Brent Gove. I think of the likes of Bill Campbell. Bill Campbell's my direct sponsor, but Brent Gove has been very influential as to why eXp has been brought to South Africa. And he's already started promoting. He's had a big influence in terms of attracting some of the bigger brokerages here in South Africa to come talk to us, and those discussions are taking place at the present moment. So extremely unique model, and certainly there's no model in South Africa that offers anything of this sort of nature. I put here 4 different ways of earning. One is admirable commissions, revenue share, which we've touched on, equity shares, where 5% of your commission can be banked in the form of shares at a 10% trading discount at time of trading, and then also icon status. I think I'm going to change this slide over time because I've worked out that through eXp, there are actually 6 different ways of earning. And if you add on top of that the incentives, which I'll show you later, for your first sale, for the first time that you cap, when a sponsor's agent caps, that's the 5th way of earning. And that comes in the form of shares, which I think is extremely exciting. And then the 6th way is if you do a property deal and you're your own investor as such, and you agent on your own property deal, effectively you're not paying commission on that particular deal. So that's the 6th way of earning. And with the clever people around the world, they always say that if you find 7 different ways of earning, you will be a wealthy person forever going forward. So I refer back to Glenn Sanford. I had a meeting with him 2 days ago. He's bought himself an RV. He's traveling around America at the moment. Nobody knows that he's away from home. Nobody realizes that he's operating on Wi-Fi from any remote destination. He's got his laptop available. He's in the eXp world. He's interacting. He's transacting. And he's not losing an hour in a day in terms of ability to do business, to do work, and to transact in the world, as he has done since 2009. And he's built this business from 0 value to $4 billion US. It was announced around about 3 weeks ago as the valuation of eXp World Holdings. And just remember, the bulk of the shareholding in that company is through the agents that joined the company back in 2009. I think the agent count in eXp back in 2012 was around about 285 agents. Okay, you picture it now, 36,000 agents this year, 40,000 agents by the end of this year, 100,000 agents by the end of next year. And obviously, we've got certain milestones that we want to achieve from a South African point of view. The actual model itself, 800 Rand join fee. We've then got 800 Rand monthly fee. Just remember, we're delaying that through to the 1st of December. 75% to agent, 25% to company, 150,000 Rand cap. Just remember, the interpretation of that is the cap value of 150,000 Rand really comes out of the company contribution. Okay, and that was the discussion that Stephen, Mark, myself, we elevated it as to how the GCI is calculated in order to work out the revenue share going forward. What I think is also important is the minute that cap value of 150,000 Rand is achieved, the agent moves to 100% commission, 0% to company. So if you net that out after an international fee of 4%, of which 0.5% goes as a social responsibility contribution, the net that you net out on the 75-25 is a 71% to agent and 96% to agent once you've capped. The revenue share component, and to me this is the most exciting part of this particular model. On your first tier of introductions, just remember these are independent contracts with each individual. You're building a network of agents, you're not employing them, you've just had the influence to influence them to join eXp South Africa or eXp Realty across the world in countries that we licensed. And through this model in South Africa, you can earn off up to 21,000 Rand on an annualized basis of anyone that you have introduced where you are the sponsor. So it's around about 3.5% of GCI, and that works out at 21,000 Rand. I think it's very important to note that if you do introduce agents on the 1st of January 2021, and even if you do the introductions now, it can be tracked. Let's say I introduce an agent into USA, gets taken on there within eXp Realty USA, and I can earn US dollars back in South Africa on the agents that I introduce into America, into UK, into Australia, and into Canada at this particular stage, and by the end of the year, the 5 other countries. So this is now going global, and you've got to start thinking, okay, yes, let's build South Africa, but let's build outside of South Africa in terms of our network as well. And through the internet, you have now got the technology and the systems, the Zoom calls, the Google Meets calls, etc., going to the rest of the world where you can influence people to join eXp in India. You can influence people to join eXp in the UK. And I think we must exploit this opportunity, because this is genuinely where the upside comes. And especially when you're converting pounds, US dollars, back into rands, paid into your local bank account here in South Africa. Very important point. Also on that point, in terms of your first tier, if you can build your first tier up to and over 40 individuals in your first tier, you won't have to worry about tier 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 in terms of building. That will happen naturally and effectively if you build to those 40 influencers who are real influential people, who are market share leaders, who are recruiters, who have a network of agents that you've got the database of. Those are the people that you want to bring into your first tier. And Brent Gove's big message to me was focus on the first tier. Focus on the first tier. And that's all I've done up until now in terms of ensuring growth in South Africa, and we're already starting to see it happen. In terms of the tiers, there are criteria attached to this. In terms of first tier, it's unlimited. Second tier, you have to have a minimum of 5 people, so it grows up through the tiers. What's important are the values of 21,000 Rand extending to on tier 5. I can't see it myself, but it's around about 30,000 Rand. And just picture that being banked into your bank account up to that sort of value by then, by the end of a year on the introductions that you've made to eXp South Africa and eXp Realty. Massive growth opportunity in that regard. So the fifth way of earning is through the incentive program. You get paid 2,000 Rand in the form of shares on your first sale. Okay, and this is tracked through our technology and allocated to you. 4,000 Rands worth of shares are allocated to you when you cap. So when the contribution of 150,000 Rands worth of company dollar or company Rand is attained, you get 4,000 Rands worth of shares on an annualized basis. On an annualized basis. And when a sponsor's agent closes their first deal, you get a further 4,000 Rands worth of shares. Massive incentive. Wonderful message. Icon status agents, we have set the benchmark high. You have to cap is a criteria, and gross commission income in terms of your own income needs to reach 5 million Rands. So we based the 5 million Rand on what was achieved in South Africa around about 18 months ago. We've obviously projected into the next year. So some people might feel that is unattainable, but sell a farm in the Eastern Cape, sell a commercial block up in Johannesburg, sell a property in Llandudno, okay, and that 5 million gross commission income becomes a reality. So through that, 150,000 rands worth of cap value gets paid back to you in the form of shares over a vested period against certain criteria, starting from 0 months through to a 3-year vested period. And the reason why it's vested is these are the top performing agents that the company wants to retain. These are the shareholders in the company that have earned shares, have reinvested in the company, and really drive the decision making around how we operate on a day-to-day basis. What we've spoken about mostly today is CRM. We've got a backend called List Globally. We've got a website called REP, R-E-P, which effectively holds our CRM. The CRM then talks through to private property and P24. And this is then extended out into social media in the form of LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and the likes. And my recommendation is to put some money aside in order to boost that, to make sure that you are out in the client's face in terms of the consumer space. But also with this program, we've got the ability to do a one-page website for you promoting yourself as the brand. So really high-quality CRM, high-quality website, nice interaction with private property and P24, which we're concluding at the moment. And now our listings will go live as soon as our Fidelity Fund certificate is fully secured. eXp University, 100 hours through the USA, 40 hours through South Africa. We've had about 3-4 hours this last week. And before the end of the year, we'll be hitting 40 hours of training through this auditorium, through the boardrooms, one-on-one presentations and the like. But very excited about the university. And all these are live trainings, recorded trainings, and obviously some of the information held on the various drives that we operate at the moment. Into Workplace and Work Chat, delightful message yesterday. I can pick up straight away the minute an agent joins. The minute they go into Workplace, the registration comes through to me. I can send a nice message. Mark Holder arrived yesterday. I sent a nice message to him to say what an honor to have him as part of the team. Very excited about the road ahead, and welcome to eXp Realty, and in particular to eXp South Africa. So nice hands-on sort of approach. But through this, we can wish people happy birthday. We can celebrate anniversaries. We can celebrate marriages, etc., etc. So a great platform. But the biggest reason why we've got Workplace and Work Chat, Workplace is effectively your Facebook in-house to eXp Realty. And through that, we expect genuine, high-quality referrals between individual agents. And then Work Chat, you can phone, you can WhatsApp, you can have a video call, all in-house between agents, and effectively it's ensuring that there's a great internal referral system and internal communication on a daily basis. And then into eXp World, everyone's had a look around. We've got auditorium, we've got boardrooms, we've got our offices. It's a lovely place to come interact. You're welcome to come in, utilize the boardrooms. Once you've registered with eXp, it'll be a great pleasure. A great example is Steve Johnson does a number of training sessions. Steve, there's no reason why you can't use the auditorium in terms of attracting people into these into your presentations to promote your own network and to build your own brand as Steve Johnson, powered by eXp. Marketing templates across South Africa, business cards, newsletters, brochures, all the way through to house flyers, and then all the merchandising that is available. It is branded, it's ready for distribution, it's on order. Make the phone call, send the email, shop online. All of this can come to you automatically. And then into our partners, a big thanks to ENS Africa, to PKF Octagon, ENS Africa, legal team through Andrew Bembridge, PKF Octagon, Siad Musa, great gentleman out of Johannesburg, working with Mark Luca. Deloitte are our auditors on the company side, PKF on the Estate Agency Affairs Board side. We've got Aon, who are insurers, Standard Bank, our bank and trust account, and then the various parties that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I can't say it enough, third-party income goes through to the individual agent. Very important, and we'll bring this dynamic into our session next week when we've got our various panelists up talking leadership, vision, and mindset. A big thing for me in South Africa is about community. and really going the transformation route, and how we can help our local communities, how we can help our local people grow into becoming better real estate individuals, better lifestyles, wealthy young individuals that are tech savvy. There is such an opportunity here in South Africa, and I'm extremely excited about the opportunity to extend into those communities, spend money in the right areas, and ensure that there's a growth, there's a development, there's a genuineness, there's integrity, all of that coming in through education, through sport, and just really creating better lifestyles for the people that live in South Africa. I think the young local person here in South Africa is very tech orientated. They understand cell phones, computers, Apple Macs, whatever it might be, far better than we do. And just imagine that youngster coming through and just creating a real estate environment which is just elevated in terms of its day-to-day running, this business platform that's on offer, and tying into the technology and allowing people to go out there and really ply their trade at the end of the day. Okay, so that's it from me today. It's been a long session. We're in almost an hour 20 in. That's not normal, but certainly we want to get these positive messages across, spend time with our agents, and allow and ensure that you've got the tools to relay to a bigger community across the whole of South Africa. Just remember, we have the marketing deck, we do have the Join app, and we've got our entire team up on stage to assist and support you. So once again, from my side, thank you very much indeed, and so wonderful to have you onboarded. And we're seeing this audience growing on a daily basis. It's fantastic. Thanks very much indeed. Thanks, Charmaine. Thank you.
Have everybody up having a dance?
Show us the way, Robin.
Come on, everybody needs to get up and have a little dance.